Athens City Shade Tree Commission meeting for May the 12th, 2016. There have been 3 tree permits submitted to the city, and I would ask tree commissioners if they can to go and have a look at these sites. 10 Harris Street, there's a pear tree that is claimed to be adversely affecting the driveway. 39 Charles Street, there's supposed to be a dead maple there. And 89 Mills Street, there is a silver maple that is affecting the sidewalk. I've been to all 3. I didn't find a dead maple. I don't think the driveway...
I can report on the dead maple.
Okay.
Dead maple has since been removed.
Oh, that's why it wasn't there.
By my neighbor.
Okay.
So check that off your list.
Good, thank you.
And if you intend to replace it with a hardwood.
Okay, good, yeah. That's fine. Yeah, and then the silver maple. I didn't. It's a big one, right on the corner of the street that accesses the Siegfried and the other fine arts buildings. It's right on the corner there, and I didn't see any problems with the sidewalk when I looked at it. But if you'd like to go and have a look and see, we would appreciate it.
What about the other one?
10 Harris, there's I think it was a pear tree that was claiming to be causing problems to the driveway. I didn't see a problem with that myself.
Oh, the pear tree, take it down anyway.
Well, that's the other thing that I'm pretty sure the silver maple was in the right of way. I think in fact the code officer had been there to check that, but the other 2, the code office hadn't had a chance to check them yet as to whether they were city trees or not. The one in the 10 Harris may not be a city tree. It'll be probably at the limit of where it would be if it is. I don't know how wide the right of way is on Harris. Sometimes the residential streets have very wide rights of way. Okay. Then Emily just mentioned a tree at the north end of Court Street, I think.
Yeah, on the right-hand side, going north, the last block. And it's a honey locust, and just a few of the lowest branches have leaves on them.
Okay. So your thought is we may need to replace that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's also a dead one that is on county property. I don't know what...
If it's on county property, it's not our problem.
It's at the Children's Services. Right in front of Children's Services where all those little windmills are.
That may be ours. It's always difficult to tell because of the width of the right of way.
As you come off the freeway, it's the first thing you see. It's sort of...
Do you remember what type of tree it is?
I don't know.
Okay.
Is it?
I only see it when I drive by.
Or one of
No.
the
It's a deciduous.
there are some
I know we can cedar, ones that drop it in the winter.
All cypress.
no, not bald cypress.
Cypress.
No, it's not cypress. Sycamore, the hybrid sycamore, London plane tree. There's some of those there. I don't know whether it's one of those.
Okay. Well, we can have a look.
I'll try to. I'll stop and look because I just see it as I drive by, and I haven't really.
Yeah. Yeah, East State Street does have a wide right of way, so it could be that it's a city tree. Okay. Any other trees in the city of concern? If not, we don't have any Title 33 ordinance plans to deal with, but I did meet with the code director and the service safety director last week. In your packet there's my email back to them just summarising what we discussed and how we would proceed. That the tree commission minutes will be the sort of source of information, unless there is a landscape plan associated with the particular property. That's not always the case, but I did point out that Title 37 does require plans to be provided. We did agree that if a development clearly meets Title 37, then the co-director may approve the plans without referring them to the Shade Tree Commission. We've had a number of those where the co-director can see immediately that the plans conform and there's no need for any variances. The main reason that they come to us is because there is a need for a variance or some ideas as to how they will be able to conform. Once a development is occupied or in use, they have 2 planting seasons, and those will be fall and spring, or spring and fall, to have the trees planted. We will help in ensuring compliance of Title 37 and in the way that we could visit. We may visit the sites and check on the number of trees and the type of trees that have been planted and that they're alive and they're being maintained properly. Several of us have done that in the past, and that will be one source of information that the Code Office can use. I will help the Code Office write letters, but the city will identify the owner or the other responsible party to whom the letter needs to be sent. And that letter will be signed by a city official, usually the code director. At that stage, if there's still a failure to comply, we assume that we will go to the law director's office. So that's the plan for trying to enforce things, which the code director and the service safety director agreed to.
Will that address some of the issues of non-compliance that are still occurring, or is that from today forward?
No, what we're going to do is we're going to start looking at the ones that are out of compliance and make sure that we bring them in slowly. So I've already made a suggestion as to where the code director could look first. I think he's going to look at that property. He may call on me or one of you to help him with that, but it's one of these properties that was supposed to have been very easy to come into compliance, but they've never planted the trees that they were supposed to have planted. So it looks like a fairly easy case to proceed with, but we'll see what happens. There are obviously some other cases that go back a long time. I think Taco Bell is probably the oldest one that we've got, but we still would like them to comply. That's the Taco Bell on East State Street. But that one is a more complicated case because it comes on the plans were approved under the previous Title 37, which in fact I think required them to plant more trees than the current one does. And so we may even have some area of negotiation on that one. So are there any other questions on enforcement and how we're going to go about it?
Pretty exciting news.
Okay. Well, I think it's right that the code director needed guidance as to exactly how to proceed. He's new to this job in this town. And he just wanted to get some idea of how we were going to go about doing this.
Yeah.
And so we'll see where we go from here.
Okay.
Okay, well, in the absence of Ron, I have his report.
Oh, good.
The Arbor Day celebration was held at the community centre on April 29. We planted 3 trees, including one memorial tree dedicated to women who experienced pregnancy loss. The trees planted were a pin oak, a willow oak, and a river birch. The mayor read a proclamation. Media was in attendance. An Athens resident, Colleen Carrow, who had the memory tree idea, spoke about pregnancy loss and the importance of the memorial tree. She will purchase a plaque that will be mounted in concrete and placed at the pin oak. Tree City USA Awards. This was held on April 20th in the New Lexington. Lee Gregg, Nancy Walker, and Ron attended and were presented with the 26th consecutive Tree City USA Award. Ron will be meeting with D&GA Tree Services next Thursday to view a number of trees that have been reported dead or needing trimmed. Depending on their condition, we will prune, remove, or have the resident file a tree permit. Title 37 review meeting was held with, that's the meeting that I've just referred to. And he says we discuss various ways we can improve enforcement of this section of the code. I've also mentioned this to Ron, but I think we need to come up with a plan for crown lifting of trees along prominent streets. This is where you start to remove some of the lower branches so that we can get them up to a point where I think the city refuse truck is the one that we gauge it by. It's 13 feet, 8 feet over the sidewalks and 13 feet over the street. If you can get to 13 feet over both, it actually looks better once you've got mature trees. But we've been planting trees now for I think about 20 years now, and so some of these trees are really getting to the point where if they're going to look like large mature trees in 50 years' time, then we need to do this lifting process. We need to remove some of these lower branches. And so this is one thing that I've asked Ron to start thinking about as to how we're going to implement this. It mainly concerns streets where there are sidewalks and the trees are planted close to both the sidewalk and the city street. It's not a problem in parks and other public areas, although even there, if there's a lot of pedestrian traffic, you do want to try and lift the branches.
And wanting to use lawnmowers underneath them.
Yes, yeah.
And it would be better for the trees if we remove as much as possible when they're as young as possible.
Yes, yeah. Also removing multiple leaders as well,
yes,
so that we stop crotches forming in the branches that are weak spots for.
So you do have an inventory?
Not really, no. No, I mean this is something that will need to be done. I think what will have to happen is that there'll have to be a training of some city workers in order to make this possible. I mean, some of it is. Alvin Williams and I used to go out and do this.
Oh, really?
But she had a pickup truck and I had a saw, and we'd go out and we'd take off the lower branches, and we can still do that. I mean,
and then you can put the guy in the trash can, trash truck in charge.
Yeah.
13.
Yeah.
I know the city focuses on different sections of
Yes.
the city each year for
Yeah.
pruning, so we should find out what where they're focusing on this fall.
Yeah.
And I think that whoever's going to be doing it does need proper training.
Oh yes, yeah.
Because the last time they did some pruning at the community center, the men took it on themselves to cut the limbs back, the ends that were going to stick out over the sidewalk. So you got a stub about that long with higher branches going over it, which is going to die.
But you could have people who weren't trained identify trees that were getting in the way of the trash trucks and the.
Yeah. Well, this again is where commissioners can volunteer to help, and where Ron can help train other city workers to do this. It's a case of trying to put together a plan for fall, as Emily says.
I agree. Somebody needs to do it that's qualified.
I actually have some material that I've used with New Master Gardeners about proper pruning. I think it would need some tweaking for city workers.
Yeah.
But that might be a start.
Okay, good. Any other comments? Any other items that we want to raise? We're getting towards the end of the agenda now.
We were talking before the meeting started about gifting trees and benches. About the trees, you said that there needs to be a sort of fund set aside to maintain
It depends on the organisation. The university requires quite a large donation the university requires quite a large donation. The city, I think, just would like the cost of the tree.
Oh, okay.
So they're a little bit cheaper. They have,
And the person needs to pay for the plaque if there's going to be a plaque.
I believe that's the case. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
So that would be okay.
Yeah.
I do have a question, David. Is the list of suggested trees now available on the web page for citizens? I know there's been a lot of tree loss of late in my neighborhood, and I want to be able to point people
cut down
to this list.
I will check.
I can do that as well. But
Yeah. Yes, it should be. I think it's dated March or April 2015 is the current one. And I do know there's a spreadsheet there which wasn't, that there are some issues with. But as I don't manage the website, I'm not sure how to fix those issues.
Well, we can find the right person for you.
Okay, good. Yeah, the code director has a copy of the current list. Anything else? If not, we've got the minutes of the last meeting.
Ron, David, I believe
Yes.
I missed the last meeting.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Ron's not here. But
I apologize.
I hate to admit it.
Yeah.
I love getting credit for things I didn't do. But
Yeah.
in this case,
Yeah.
I was not here.
Yeah.
I was at the RBA celebration.
I thought I'd gone through and no, because Emily wasn't here, you weren't here.
No, I was not here.
And Jeff, were you?
I was here.
You were there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I apologize.
Or was he? No, just kidding. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Because and Ron, I wonder what happened.
We have
'cause-
video.
yeah, there is video. Yes. This is the way I do it.
But I won't be here next time. We're off to study abroad. So.
Okay. Now I try to do what I'm doing now, which is actually write down the people who are here on my copy of the agenda, and then I use that as my backup. And I apologise. I thought I'd edited that thing. I didn't.
But other than that, the minutes look good.
Okay. There was a loss of sound at the beginning. I can tell you that. So.
I have a suggestion for correction.
Yes.
Under Ron's report C, I think it should be this Sunday rather than
Oh yes.
Thunder.
That's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, I wonder where that one came from. Probably an automatic spelling correction or something. Yeah. I know I've misspelled Asplund, and apparently the spell checker knows about Asplund. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Second.
Thank you, Emily. There are no objections?
Did he? Oh, no objection.
Have you got a question?
It'll wait till after you vote.
Okay. If there are no objections, we'll approve the minutes. And you have a question?
Yeah. I just wondered if there was any follow-up with the questions that we had there for him.
No.
Okay.
No, I haven't. Other than setting up the meeting, the third one, and we did discuss the Bradford Pears, but we don't know what. But the city has no plan for it at the moment. But he is aware of this as an issue. In fact, he commented that he thinks the state may, in fact, declare them to be an invasive species. And so at that point, we will be encouraged to remove them. And certainly there are a lot growing on conservancy land adjacent to city property. And whether we...
A lot along highways.
Oh, yes, yeah. So that's all I can tell you about the questions for Ron. Is there any other business at all? If not, we are adjourned. Our next meeting will be on June the 9th. And we are adjourned. Thank you.